Tough questions, new insights, diverse perspectives. Welcome to Questions of the Day with Fanuel Muindi.
Well, welcome back to Questions of the Day. I'm your host, Fanuel Muindi. Now, did you know that, first of all, the Berlin Science Week is taking place right now, both online programs and virtual programs and in-person programs. So you should check it out. But also, the Berlin Science Week offers journalism research grant, where they support international media representatives who want to report on scientific topics related to the Berlin Science Week. And there's so much that is ongoing there that is really cool that they're providing this support to those science journalists that are really curious about what's going on. So we have one of them with us, okay, to get that back-end story. Barajiwa and Sentausa, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Indonesia. Welcome.
Thank you, Fanuel. Hi everyone in the Questions of the Day show. My name is Bara, you can call me Bara, and I'm a science journalist from Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm one of the people that got the research grant to report on Berlin Science Week.
Wonderful. So take us a little bit back there. So what was your interest in applying for the grant? What were you hoping to do?
Well, one day I just came across Berlin Science Week. I've never heard of it before, but when I look at the program or look how at the past events go, and knowing the fact that even just the fact that there's a science festival like whole 10 days long in Berlin, like people can engage with scientists, with experts, and regular people just can go in there. It's not something that you regularly see in where I come from in Indonesia, a place that I would say infamous for its low scientific literacy, and it just gets me interested as a personal geek and as a science journalist. So yeah, those two things makes me interested to report on Berlin Science Week and see what can I learn, what insights can I get to maybe promote the same level of curiosity or interest in science among Indonesians.
Yeah, and so that's amazing. So what kinds of stories are you like? Tell us a little bit about your process here, right? Because you're doing this virtually, right? So you're attending virtual events. Tell us what kinds of questions are you investigating?
All right, so yeah, I'm in a digital journalism program. So at day one, we had like this workshops with experts from various scientific industries in Germany. So my main research purpose is I bring I think my unique value that I bring to the committee is that the fact that I'm from Bisa. Bisa is Indonesia's I can say the largest science and education media in Indonesia. So we make science videos, and we make science infographics, and we make it so that the content is based on curiosity-based learning. And so we often make content on our science content or the topics that cover anything from physics to history to art to economics and everything. And so I've been working on promoting that scientific literacy in Indonesia, right? And it's been going on for a while, and I think Berlin Science Week is a chance for Indonesia and Bisa and Bisa's audience, the Indonesian youth, to know like what is it like on science interest or science literacy or science festivals outside of our beautiful country, right? So yeah, my proposal is actually about learning what insights can I get from the Berlin Science Week to know that I can to know the things that I can show into to our Indonesian audience. So I think of making a story about any interesting things that I came across in Berlin Science Week. For example, in day one, we had workshops on like quantum sensors or like the German complex of biotechnology industries, right? And yesterday, I just watched a panel discussion on how politics may define or may have a huge impact on our nutrition and everything like that. So I think what the story is gonna be at the end, I'm not entirely sure on that, but I think I'm gonna find like one or two or three very interesting points or very interesting scientific innovations or scientific insights from the event, and I will turn that into something that Indonesians can actually like discover that there's this thing that maybe Indonesians don't even think that this thing exists. Like, and in Berlin, in Germany, it just happens, and it's not something like that far fetched. It's maybe something that Indonesians can also learn to like, some learn to understand, and so yeah. My point is to get Indonesian audience know with any scientific progress that's going on in Berlin, and inspire the youth to like science more through my content later.
Wonderful. So once you're done, is this going to be a written piece or a video piece? Tell us about that.
I haven't made up my mind yet on that, but it's most likely gonna be infographic. So on our Instagram we make written content, but with visuals. So we make infographics on like from short topics in like one slide infographic to like 10 slides infographic on telling me many things. So yeah, I'm guessing the format is about to be infographics.
I see.
Yeah, and I'm still exploring though about how many infographics should I make. Maybe I think I haven't decided whether to make like one infographic that covers all. I think that's interesting, but maybe not deep enough for people to like. If there's one content on nutrition, on policy, on quantum sensors, on parasite, and I don't know everything, maybe people like don't really get the idea of what makes them interesting in the first place. So maybe it's better to focus on each one of them and think of like what would the Indonesian youth really care about, or what would be very cool for Indonesian youth to make them maybe like more interested in taking on science education, or maybe more interested in taking on STEM careers. More so.
And are you talking to the scientists? Are you getting access to them so that you can get those insights, or just?
Yeah. For now, I was still what I did was still watching panel discussions, and I haven't really got in contact with any scientists, but I know that we as the recipients of the journalism grant, we do have access to contact the scientists, right? So our liaison actually gives us contact. I'm actually interested in exploring more of the programs. So they have a lot of programs, right? In many topics. So I think I will need like some more time to decide on what topics should I work on, and then I can get to delve deeper on the topic that I decided to work on.
Yeah, I think that's going to be wonderful. So one of the things that I think most people probably don't understand is, you've communicated this a little bit, your excitement, you want to communicate what you're learning to the Indonesian youth, right? To get them excited about STEM and so forth. If we turn the lens on you, right? What excites? Tell us a little bit about you as a science journalist. What makes you tick, right? Especially even in this event, what just keeps you going? We know the youth angle, but tell us about you and why do you do this type of work?
That's a great question. I think I've been a science geek for as long as I can remember. So as a kid, I always read the dinosaurs book and everything, and the encyclopedias. And once I get to working age, I got into Kobisa. Kobisa is I think it's kind of Kobisa is kind of famous for being the National Geographic of Indonesia, and National Geographic covers a lot of things, right? Me personally, I have a background in physics, so I'm personally more interested in physics stuff. So like anything from astronomy, anything from quantum sensors, for example. But yeah, in my line of work, I have learned to like not just interested in physics, but everything. I think I'm pretty pretty easy to be excited in any scientific progress. Um, I don't know if that's a satisfying answer, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to anything. I think my focus would be in tech and engineering innovations, and something related to the climate change probably. So, because for me it's a personal issue that I really care about, and Indonesia as a country is also um, I mean, we're in the southern part of the globe, right? And Indonesia is a archipelago country, so climate change and climate justice is often discussed in Indonesia as a country that's, when the sea rises, our country got hit first, and when the crops die, it's our crops that probably will die first, and that's why some time ago when I attended the discussion about what politics or policy would do in providing nutrition to the people, right? It's I reflect a lot on how Indonesian people they struggle also with nutrition, and I think that policymakers in Indonesia also have also can have like inputs or ideas on or insights on how to make Indonesians don't suffer in nutrition anymore. So it's one part. So I think to answer the question, I think related to physics or climate change.
Yeah, and it's as you mentioned earlier, you are bringing all these voices, right, to your coverage of the Berlin Science Week, or the youth voice from Indonesia, right, and all your experiences, right, and so I think that's just fascinating to get that background view for someone who may not understand what do science journalists do, right, and so forth. So thank you for sharing those insights. So now, of course, we are in the middle. In fact, this is still in the middle of the week. The Berlin Science Week is taking place November 1st through the 10th. So we are kind of midway through the event. Tell us, just in general sense, what are you hearing? What are you feeling?
Okay. One thing for sure is that I really want to be there, right? Because there's a lot of things that I don't think you can fully experience online, and there's all kinds of like tours or like workshops. I think there's a very interesting workshop yesterday, which is design your own superhero or design your own parasite, and like there's this expert on like parasites and superheroes, and we can like draw our own parasite and maybe like assign our abilities, if I may say so, on the parasite and the superheroes. And like there's a scientist right there saying that reviews our work, right? And I think that's one of the most interesting thing I've saw. Well, I did not get into the session because it's for in-person attendees only, and I mean I really want to join in on that. So yeah, but generally I think the digital program is also eye-opening. That's for sure, because you have people like from across different backgrounds. You have scientists, you have like policymakers, you have researchers, and you also have like people from not from the science background but also from the art background, because I think it's the program's this year's specialty also. So yeah, it's been eye-opening, it's been fun, and it's been very it makes me really want to be there. I don't know, maybe next year, because the digital program it's cool, but I want more. I want to be in Berlin Science Week in person.
Maybe perhaps that's it, right? You want more. You mentioned that you want more, and in fact, you're having fun even online. Imagine what it'll be like in person. So as we wrap up things here, I mean, I could talk to you all day long. I really could. There's so much to ask you. So I want to bring it back to actually Indonesia. If we can end into there, that's where you are. So Indonesia does have some of that have its own science festivals. Am I right in saying that, or correct me if I'm wrong?
Well, there's no like the most famous one or like the public one. So there are science festivals once in a while or here and there, but it feels secluded to the scientists only, and it's not meant to attract or to be interesting for the general public. I think that's Indonesia. There's this, I think there's this issue where the scientist is like secluded group from the people, and the people is like they think the scientists are just like too smart for them, or like too scary, and it's not something that you talk about in daily life. Like I think maybe that's not just in Indonesia, but yeah, the science festival or science week in Berlin, there's, to my knowledge, I don't think there's any like it in Indonesia. So yeah, it will be really good if someday you can see something like that. Yeah.
That's I think we just spoke it into existence. This one conversation helps bridge those connections, right? And to see the festivals, because these festivals are springing up everywhere around the world, lots of them everywhere, right? But not every single place, right? Some places do need more of that. I think we hopefully have contributed a little bit towards that. Barajiwa, thank you so much, and I think we need to have you back. In fact, after you release your infographic, we want to see it. All right here.
Sure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. This was CivicSciTV.